Pierre Poilievre and Damien Kurek held a town hall at the Stettler Agroplex on July 11th. The event brought hundreds of people from the Stettler area to the town hall to hear what Pierre and Damien had to say. Damien Kurek gave up his seat so Pierre Poilievre could run in the upcoming by-election on August 18th after losing his seat in the recent federal election. Along with the supporters were people against Pierre Poilievre. A small group of protesters stood right next to the doors, but they told us that they were told to move down the street. The Agroplex was decorated with oil equipment, pickup trucks, farm equipment, and a large Canadian flag. It was standing room only at the Agroplex as the seats and bleachers were all occupied. After Mayor Sean Knowles and Damien Kurek spoke at the beginning of the event, Pierre was welcomed onto the stage.
Welcome to Stettler, Pierre Poilievre, the next Prime Minister of Canada.
As you would expect, Poilievre reiterated his stance on pipelines and oil from this province.
What we've been championing oil and gas, and we will continue to fight every day in every way to repeal the No New Pipelines Law, C-69. The ban on offshore shipping. If you can't get the oil on a tanker and off to market, there's no point piping it across BC. We need to get rid of C-48. We need to get rid of the emissions cap.
Another local rural Alberta issue he brought forward were the gun laws.
I don't even know how they're going to enforce this. They've been going around trying to figure out a way to take they asked Canada Post if the postal workers would go around knocking on doors, and they said, no, we're not doing that. The RCMP doesn't want to do it. So I don't know how they're going to do this. So I actually don't think they're going to be able to do it. But in the meantime, they're harassing licensed, law-abiding, trained and tested firearms owners. I was talking to a farmer just in the last few days who was saying that coyotes come in packs. So the fact that he has a firearm that allows him to fire quickly, multiple rounds, does not make him a criminal. It makes him a farmer.
With the by-election less than a month away, Poilievre talked directly to voters to conclude his speech.
And it would be an incredible honor should I get the chance to serve all of you, to be your voice, to be your humble servant on Parliament Hill. I come to you in a spirit of humility, and I say that if given the chance, you will have no greater, no louder, no bigger voice to fight for the values in which you believe and in the country for which we all give ourselves. Thank you very much. God bless.
Poilievre was on stage for about 20 minutes before he sat down with Kurek to answer a few questions that were emailed to them prior to the town hall. One major concern people have is the prospect of a long ballot affecting this by-election.
Now, there are ways you can fix this. We could simply, for example, say that everybody who gets on the ballot should have to have 1,000 unique signatures from residents in the community, and that no one can sign such a petition twice. That would make it impossible for 200 people to go out and have their names piled onto the list. There are a number of other things that you could do that would make it so that only real candidates who are truly running to put their name forward in our democracy are on that list. But either way, we have to take action because this is a scam. It is unfair, it is unjust, and it must stop.
In front of the large Canadian flag, Pierre Poilievre had a meet and greet with citizens to end the event. The by-election is set for August 18th. At the time of publishing this video, there are 7 other candidates registered with Elections Canada. For Hometown Productions and Media, I'm Alex Makita.